Hello, word nerds. Thank you for joining me on this journey of the entire dictionary. And you past listeners will know that I have just finished the letter A. So thank you for joining me through that. This is a little bit of a weird episode. I recently came across this photo. Somebody posted it on Instagram, Reddit. Sorry, and the title is How English Has Changed Over the Last 1,000 Years, and it's an example of the 23rd Psalm, which must be from the Bible, right? And so it shows this same three-line passage in four different forms of English. There's the modern form, the King James Bible form, the Middle English, and the Old English. And this is a perfect example of just how English has evolved in 1,000 years, and I just found this super fascinating, so I kind of, hopefully quickly, wanted to go through it kind of line by line and see how it has changed, and I don't even know. I haven't prepped this in any way, so let's just see what happens. So the modern phrase is, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He lets me lie down in green pastures. He leads me to still waters." So let's do this sort of section by section. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. That's the modern form, and it gives the year 1989. I'll post this on Instagram as well. Then the King James Bible version of that line from 1611, so over 300 years. At the time of recording, this is actually over 400 years ago. The line is, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." So very, very similar. So instead of "I lack nothing," it's "I shall not want." Then we have the Middle English form. This is anywhere from between 1100 to 1500. And the phrase is, "Our Lord gorneth me, and nothing shall defalen me." Gorneth is a word that I've never seen before. It is spelled Gouerneth. I'm sure I pronounced it wrong. Nothing is spelled Nothyng. Shall is missing the second L. And defalen is Defaillen. So clearly, in a relatively short amount of time between Middle English and then the King James Bible, it's changed a lot. And this Middle English, this is the time that we see in the dictionary. There's a lot of words that the first usage was 12th century, 13th century, 14th century, a lot of 14th century. And I had a whole episode about what happened in the 14th century, which of course is, the 1300s. And so that's exactly the time that we're talking about here, 1100 to 1500. That's right in the middle of that. And so there was a huge change in English at this time. I'm not an expert on this, but you can see this very clearly how there was a huge evolution. And then we go back even further to the Old English, which is 800 to 1066, and this might as well be another language. It basically is another language. I am not going to pronounce this correctly, but it says, "Drighten me right, nibaith me nains God's wan." Driht. I'm not even going to spell these anymore because you can just go to the Instagram. I'll post this on Facebook and Twitter too. And if you have a problem with me not spelling them because you're not on social media, let me know and I can spell them for you. This is a whole nother world. I don't know if anybody has seen the movie The Witch. It's a horror movie, so you might not be into it, but this one just popped in my head. I think that was maybe the 1600s or something like that. So that one wasn't, that movie didn't take place way back in Old English, but even the words in that movie were different to what we modern English speakers are aware of. And, this was even before that. And it's just so interesting to me. I don't know why. All right, let's do quickly the second line. "He lets me lie down in green pastures." That's the modern one. The King James Bible is, "He maketh me to lie down in green pastures." Again, not very different, but a little bit different. And then we go to Middle English. "In the stead of pasture, he set me there." There's some weird spellings. I won't get into them, but it's relatively understandable. But if you were to read that without any context, you wouldn't necessarily understand that what it means is he lets me lie down in green pastures, or he make me lie down in green pastures. And then the Old English says, and he me guesset on swythe good fioland. I'm sure good fioland is pasture. I know I just repeat myself over and over again, but I just find it so fascinating that this was the way people spoke. It's kind of English that we are familiar with. There's some recognizable words, but this is how they talked. And it, I'm sure if you were to take somebody from the year 1000 and show them what English is now, they would have just as a hard time understanding that as we do understanding their language. And now we have the last line, he leads me to still waters. That's the modern. The King James Bible line says, he leadeth me beside the still waters. Middle English says, he nourisheth me upon water of filing. What? He nourished, Norissed, and filing is Fylllyng. I just have no context for what that even means. I'm just like Fioland and Gisette and Drighton and Bythe, and it's so amazing. And then the last line in Old English says, and fed me be waitera statham. I mean, this is basically Latin. This is probably more close to Latin than English. So there's, I don't know if this was a direct. What am I trying to say? There's Latin, and then there's this. What was the transition from Latin to English? I don't know. Maybe I'll look into that. I know all you word nerds probably know those details, but I just find it fascinating. This I just thought was an amazing example to see very clearly how something has evolved in different time periods. It's just like that alphabet evolution image I found, which I think I posted, to see how the letters changed over the years, and sometimes they split to two letters, and that was, I think there were 4 or 5 different levels of evolution, and that's kind of all I had to say. Again, I'll post this to Instagram and the other socials, and this came at a really good time near the end of the letter A. And it's just a good example of what we're talking about here. So as usual, check the or call the Google Voice if you want to say something. Leave me a 5-star review and write a review that says whether you like it or you hate it. I actually just got a message today on Reddit from somebody who had been looking for a podcast of somebody reading the dictionary. I guess I knew to some degree that people existed out there like that, but I didn't really know for sure. They did have one criticism for me, and I will try and I have to find their name, but their criticism was that they actually wanted me to interject less. So they just wanted me to read the dictionary. So going forward, I'm not going to stop interjecting. I'm still going to interject on occasion, but I may either throughout an episode, or maybe episode specifically, I may try and interject less, because there are people out there who don't want that. They just want me to read the dictionary, and that is totally cool and understandable, but I think the majority of you actually like some interjection because it keeps it a little bit more interesting. I know that just dryly reading the dictionary may put you to sleep, and that's probably not what you're here for. I actually am not able to find their, I think their username on Reddit was frijolita_bonita, if I'm remembering that correctly. But anyway, it's been a crazy few days finishing up the end of the letter A. At the time of recording, last night, my wife and I recorded the last episode, which you have already heard. Tomorrow, I'm going to be recording the next few episodes for the letter B, which I'm excited to get into. And there's a Patreon. If you, I think what I'm going to do is if you pay $2 or more, you get episodes early. If you pay $5 or more, you get exclusive episodes, which I'm working on some things with that. I'm just babbling on. And you know what? Let's just end this right now. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found this little description of the evolution of English interesting. And until next time, this is some idiot reading the dictionary. Thank you and goodbye.